You're sitting in a park one afternoon. Nothing special, just you, a bench, and the kind of quiet that makes you forget your phone exists. Then a woman walks by and sits right next to you. She's pale as fresh snow. Her hair is silver and curly like it was spun from moonlight. Her eyes are the kind of blue that makes you stop breathing for a second. You're captivated, obviously. So you ask her name. She says Abarash. And then she adds almost casually that she's from a tribe in sub-Saharan Africa. And that's when it clicks. She's a black woman with albinism. Your brain does that little recalibration thing, where you realize your assumptions were way off, and suddenly she's even more fascinating than she was 2 seconds ago. You ask for her number. She takes your phone and types it in with her left hand. You go on dates. She's brilliant, like effortlessly brilliant. She talks about things you've never thought about and makes you feel smarter just by listening. You fall in love. She becomes your girlfriend. Life is good. Then your alarm goes off. You wake up in your bed, heart racing, completely dumbfounded. It was just a dream. You lie there staring at the ceiling and ask yourself the kind of question that only hits you at 6 a.m. when reality feels thin. Does a person like that actually exist? Statistically, yes, probably. But that raises a way more interesting question. Out of the 8 billion people alive right now, what would the rarest possible human actually look like? Not the most attractive or successful or talented, just the most statistically unlikely human to ever exist. To answer that, we have to break humanity down trait by trait and stack the odds against each other until we get something so improbable it almost hurts to think about. Let's start with where a person comes from. There are roughly 7,000 distinct ethnic groups on Earth. Most of humanity is crammed into a relatively small number of massive populations. The Han Chinese alone account for about 18% of the global population. That's more than 1.4 billion people from a single ethnic group. But on the other end of that scale, things get wild. The Sentinelese of the Andaman Islands are estimated at somewhere between 50 and 400 people. The Kawahiva of the Brazilian Amazon are thought to number fewer than 30 individuals. The Spinifex people of Australia were down to around 200 at their last count. For our rarest human, we're placing their ethnic origin in one of these tiny groups. Let's be generous and use a conservative population of 500 within a global population of 8 billion. That's 500 divided by 8 billion. The odds of being born into that specific group? 1 in 16 million. Already, our person has a 0.0000625% chance of existing. Now we give this person albinism. Albinism is a genetic condition caused by mutations in the genes responsible for melanin production. Melanin is the pigment that determines the color of your skin, hair, and eyes. In someone with complete albinism, that production pathway is either severely reduced or entirely absent. The result is white or near white skin, very light or silver hair, and eyes that range from light blue to gray to pink, depending on how much light interacts with the unpigmented iris. Globally, albinism occurs in about 1 in 20,000 people. Combine that with our ethnicity odds, and our person now has a 1 in 32 billion chance of existing. That's already more than 40 times the current global population. Now, let's talk about eyes. Green eyes are often called the rarest color, with a probability of about 1 in 50 people. But that's not even close to the rarest eye trait. Complete heterochromia is a condition where a person has 2 completely different eye colors, like one blue eye and one brown eye. It's usually present from birth and results from differences in the amount or distribution of melanin. In most cases, it's harmless and doesn't affect vision. The chance of having this trait is 0.06%, or 1 in 1,677 people. Now let's make this person left-handed. Handedness is partly heritable, but no single gene determines it. Even identical twins who share nearly identical DNA differ in handedness about 20% of the time. Brain lateralization also plays a key role. Most right-handed people process language mainly in the left hemisphere, while left-handed people often show more bilateral organization, with both hemispheres sharing the load. In many traditional communities, social pressure encourages children to use their right hand, which may lead to underreporting of natural left-handedness. A conservative estimate is about 10% or 1 in 10 people. Combine all of that, ethnicity, albinism, eye color, and handedness, our person now has a 1 in 5.33 quadrillion chance of existing. But we're not done. Most humans see color through 3 types of cone cells in the retina, sensitive roughly to blue, green, and red wavelengths. The brain combines signals from these cones to create the roughly 1 million colors visible to normal human vision. Tetrachromads have a 4th cone type sensitive to wavelengths between red and green. This can provide color information most people cannot see, allowing some tetrachromads to distinguish up to 100 million colors. Tetrachromacy is almost exclusively found in women because it's linked to the X chromosome. Women can inherit both a standard and a mutated version of the relevant gene, potentially creating a 4th cone type, while men generally cannot. About 12% of women carry the mutation, but only a small fraction develop functional tetrachromacy. Researchers estimate it occurs in roughly 1 in 40,000 women, or 1 in 80,000 people overall. Now let's make our person remember everything. Hyperthymesia, or highly superior autobiographical memory, is the ability to recall nearly every day of one's life in extraordinary detail, not just major events, but ordinary days, conversations, and random experiences. The condition was first formally identified in 2006 by neuroscientist James McGaugh after Jill Price described an inability to stop remembering her past. She likened it to a continuous involuntary replay of her life. Fewer than 100 confirmed cases have been identified worldwide. Even generous estimates that include undiagnosed individuals place the total at only a few hundred people globally, making hyperthymesia one of the rarest known memory traits. Conservatively, we'll place the probability at 500 out of 8 billion, which is 1 in 16 million. So let's recap. The rarest human we've created so far is from an ethnicity of 500 people, has albinism, complete heterochromia, is left-handed, has tetrachromacy, and has hyperthymesia. The total probability of that person existing is 1 in 6.83 septillion. To put that in perspective, the number of stars in the observable universe is roughly, at most, 1 septillion. If you counted all the grains of sand on Earth, you would need 910,000 Earths to reach that number. And this isn't even the rarest person you could make. There are still so many traits with countless possibilities: rare blood types, body mutations, intelligence levels, and so much more. Too many to cram into one video. The point is that all of us are unique and have beaten unbelievable odds just to exist as who we are. It's true that there's plenty of fish in the sea, but no one is as cool as you. So keep on swimming.